Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Eileen Winton, and I am going to be doing some fun with you guys today. I represent and own Jane Nicole Designs. It's a t-shirt and redesign company, and today I'm here to show you a little bit about the pumpkin issues, and everybody's doing pumpkins. And yep, I'm going to do another one. So I'm going to wait for a few minutes for everybody to get online. And I'm going to scoot over a little bit. I am down in my basement. As you can tell, the back is super dark. And I'm just kind of waiting for the sun to go around so that I can pull up my shade and be able to have adequate light for us. So you want to hold on for a minute, we'll get started, and I'll walk you through how I'm going to redesign this pumpkin. So it looks like I can put my shade up. Hold on just a moment. There we go. Now you don't have to see me climbing on my table. Anyways, all right. So I found this pumpkin at the thrift store, and we have a pretty small thrift store in this area. It's there's not a lot to choose from in North Idaho, so we've kind of had to be really creative in being able to pick up some stuff. The Goodwill is great, but unfortunately, it's not as big as I would hoped. There's not a whole lot on the shelves, so I actually go quite frequently and be able to pick things out. So anyway, I found this pumpkin, and I did paint it. This is actually a chalk paint from Waverly. It is cashew color. Let me see if I can get that. I'm down in here, and I painted it first with 2 coats of this just because, for time's sake. So I did 2 coats on it, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of a demo of what I do on that. So I'm going to open up the paint, and I am going to give it a couple coats of the chalk paint. I got my brush at Walmart, and I don't think you need a huge, big collection. I only have, like, I'd say probably 10 of them. And so we just kind of rotate around, but I'm going to flip it so you guys can see it. This is 1 coat, and it coats pretty well. So I did the bottom ahead of time just for time's sake. But you can see how easily and quickly that went. There we go. Today I'm going to be announcing my last live video, I did some t-shirts, and we had a drawing to be able to put in, hold on, my kitty, put in for a t-shirt, and so we decided that we were going to, on live, announce the winner. So in a little bit I will be doing that. So if you entered into the drawing, stay online so that we could be able to draw your name. Okay, so that's the first part of it. I just painted it once. I'm just gonna hit it with a hair dryer for a second. Sorry about the noise. And then I'm going to do the second coat. So, and like I said, see how it just, it covers so nicely. Just a little bit of a touch up here and there, because I'm not really too worried about it being completely covered because we're gonna do some leopard print on it, and so it's not necessarily that it's completely opaque with that cashew color. So let me one more time. Okay, so there's my pumpkin. It's all ready to go. And like I said, this is chalk paint, so it does have a little bit of grippy on it, and I like that because I'm going to be doing some decoupage on it, or Mod Podge. So today I'm going to choose, this is gloss, and so it makes a little bit of shine on it. And so you can choose, there's several different, you can do matte, you can do, they actually have dishwasher safe, and I have a tray that I put the decoupage on, and Mod Podge or whatever, and then I put it in my kitchen area, and I can wipe it off with a wet paper towel or whatever. So I really, really like that feature. So you can get that at the same place. It's a blue label, and this one is a orange. So make sure that you get the desired look that you want, if you want it shiny or if you want it matte, and then you can, like I say, choose between dishwasher and not. So I'm just going to dip my brush. I am doing a fan brush. The reason being is I like the coverage, and when I use napkins here, I will show you how I prep them. This right here is napkins I got, and it's just leopard print. I believe I got them at Hobby Lobby. Let me know if you see them and recognize the brand and know what's going on. But anyways, I just went and got those, and how I prep them is the first thing, when I have a napkin, this one in particular has a name and a date on it. So the first thing I do is rip off that date, because I don't want to have a pumpkin with 2019 on it. So I go around, make sure whatever I'm going to be doing, that I take that off. And then this is a 2-ply. Some of them are 3 actually, but this is a 2-ply napkin. And so you basically, we're going to take the little ruffly here that I kind of started. There we go. And see how that opens up? And I'm just going to pull back gently. Some of these are actually got some almost like painting and printing on it, and some of them with foil. So you got to be careful when you pull it apart that you don't rip your top part of the napkin. So I just pull that off just like that. And then I'm ready. For this project, I'm actually going to tear it into strips like that, because I want that ragged look, just like that. But I don't want little circles, because sometimes if I just do a tiny little circle, it might be kind of awkward looking for the leopard print. So I did that already, and so I just put them into little strips like that. So I have a bunch of them here. I usually use probably 3 to 4 napkins in this size of a pumpkin. So, you know, just so you kind of idea of, you know, the 8-pack of napkins, you could get a couple pumpkins out of it. So, okay, let's go back to the Mod Podge. And I'm just going to put it down the whole thing here, and then I'm going to layer my napkin right on top. There we go. Okay, let's see if I can do this backwards so you guys can see. There we go. And I'm just gonna lightly tap it down and then put a little bit of the Mod Podge over the top. See how that is? Oh, it's beautiful. I cannot wait until this thing is all finished. So this may take me a few minutes to be able to do it, but like I said, the outcome is super, super pretty. So in the comments, if you would like, could you please let me know? We are going to do some sunflowers on this, and I want to know your opinion. This is a little flower here, and sunflower, and this one has a little bit of detail on it. And then this one here, this is a different one. This one has a little bit of a, just kind of a yellow, but this is a little bit more detailed. So let me know which one you think would be the good right in the middle on the pumpkin look. Hey Emma, good morning. How are you, sister? All right. And like I said, we're just gonna keep layering this down until all of it is all of the pumpkin is covered. There we go. The other thing too is if you want to comment as well, I have 3 different captions I'm going to put on this pumpkin. And it could be a welcome pumpkin, it could be a harvest pumpkin, or it could be, I think it's thankful. So in the comments there, let me know what you would like this to end up, because there's tons of possibilities that I could actually go on this pumpkin and be able to put it at your front door for Thanksgiving, or Halloween would be, you know, a welcome. So let me know in the comments which little caption you want on there. And just a few, after I'm done doing the pumpkin, I'll show you what they look like. And so that you, right now, just go ahead and be thinking about that. What type of a pumpkin this is going to end up. Okay, let's add some more here. And I like it kind of wrinkly, and almost it looks like that flax leather that you can get, that you can make earrings with. There we go. And I'm just gonna, for time's sake, just go right down to the bottom of the pumpkin. There we go. And do put a second coat on the top. Make sure that your pumpkin has 2 layers, one on the bottom to secure it, and then on the top to seal it. Hi, Judy. So I don't know about you guys, but last night we ended up having a big windstorm, excuse me, come into town, and my husband, Jeffrey, was out in the middle of the evening, or actually morning, excuse me, about 2:30 this morning, taking our flags down because they were whapping in the wind, and we ended up, we have a lot of trees around our house, and the trees around our house have been losing their leaves, and we are completely, our full-time job almost right now is getting rid of those leaves on the ground. And thankfully the wind came last night and they're gone. So we are done, it looks like, in the front of the house, done with all the leaf raking, unless we have a neighbor that ends up having their leaves come and visit our house. So let me know in the comments where you're watching from and what your weather is today, because it's one of those. I say we had some sunshine and things like that. We're supposed to be getting some rain and wind and all sorts of stuff coming in. I don't know about you guys there, where you're at, but fall is sure definitely come into the area. And I think today it's supposed to end up think 50 degrees, something like that. And that's about time to start wearing sweatshirts to me. So, all right, do you see how this is going? It goes pretty quick when you have a big plan like this. And that's what I say, I love the brush. It's super soft. And so it just hits all those little nooks and crannies that you need to be able to put down the decoupage. There we go. Let's see these here. Emma's saying cute craft, and I know that she likes leopard print. So I don't know where this one will end up. It may end up at her house. Okay. So, and then when there's little pieces there in the crooks and crannies, you can just go ahead and rip off a little piece. I'm going to put it on there, tap it down, and then keep going. I want this pumpkin to have some texture too, so I don't want it super flat. And the other thing too is I also learned that if you don't want this look of all this crinkly, you can actually take glue, Elmer's glue, and put it down, and it's really flat. The other thing as well, you can use, not separate the two pieces, but make sure that you Mod Podge it really well so that it sticks. There we go. I could also see this really pretty for Christmas and putting white poinsettias or some type of a cream colored flower on it. I think that would be beautiful. All right. Oh, I gotta vote for thankful. I think that's a great idea. I think right now 'tis the season. I know a lot of people are preparing for Christmas, and you see in the back I do have part of my Christmas embellishment tree. Later on in the coming weeks, I'll be using the embellishments off that tree, and I just thought, you know what, I might as well, instead of putting them in a box or a basket somewhere, that I would display them and enjoy them before I use them. Okay, we got 3 more little spots left here. And it looks like I'm running out of napkins, so I will show you. This is basically, I just hold my hand on there and then just rip. This one here I can open up and look at, it's a big, huge, there we go. And because that is a straight line, I always rip off the side here, just to make sure. And then we'll go down the middle. There we go. There we go. We'll see if that's enough. If not, we'll keep going. Okay, so let's see what else. I know someone just commented, your kitty. I'm like, I think she finally went and laid down, because Usually when I craft, she decides to walk all over everything and sniff out what's going on. And right before I came live, I found out that she walked on my heat press, and now I have paint on my heat press for my t-shirts. So anybody knows how to get paint off of heat press, the little pad there on the bottom, let me know. I'm thinking hopefully I can just scrape it off, but if not, I'm gonna have to find some type of remover. So any suggestions I would welcome, very much welcome them. There we go. Okay, we're getting to the home stretch here. Last ones. Oh my goodness, you guys fell. Wow, sorry about that one. Looks like my adhesive fell off on my... There we go. Wow, whew. That was a scary one. I had no idea. Okay. My camera is up on a ledge and looks like sometimes it wants to fall over, so I must need to get a new selfie stick kind of thing. All right. There we go. Okay, last one. And then I'm going to show you one of my new and favorite things to do on my projects that if you know me, and see me in person, I should say, we have, I always have some type of sparkle on my face. And I love, in the stamping and scrapbooking world, we call it Prisma glitter. And in the crafting, it's kind of like, I believe it's called diamond dust. So I'm going to show you guys what to do here. Okay, so because I've gone a little bit quick, I think it's going to be a great time to do this right now, is I'm going to take the pumpkin, and because it already has the Mod Podge on it and it's pretty wet, so I'm just going to hit it with a little bit more Mod Podge. Hold on, I have a spot that came off here. We'll just put another piece on there. Okay. I'm going to put this. All right, and when I do this, I always have something to catch it in. And I just use freezer paper, because then I can catch all the diamond dust and make sure that I can reuse it. Okay, so I'm just gonna go for it. We're just gonna sprinkle until my little heart is content. And just, I don't know if you can see it. There we go. It's gonna come alive with sparkles. It's also going to take that Mod Podge and give it a little bit of a coating. There we go. I want it to sparkle a lot. This is a project. It just can't not sparkle. It's too beautiful. Okay. All right. So can you see that? There's a little bit of sparkle. I think there's enough sparkle. It's very beautiful. So I'm going to set that off to the side for just a moment. I'm going to put my glitter over here so I can catch it for later. Get my trivet going. Okay, so here's my next thing. We're going to draw for the t-shirt. And I've already, who has entered, I've already put them in the little drawing box here. And what I'll do is I'll draw it, and then when, knowing who it is, if it's you, go ahead and message me. If not, I will message you back, and let me show you what they're getting. This is a, I know it's a, this is a t-shirt that we did my last live video, and we put in a drawing, and if you typed moo in the comments, then you got to be entered in, and if you had a friend that you tagged in it, got another entry. And so I'll be doing that periodically because I enjoy giving stuff away. I think it's really fun to be able to bless you guys with stuff, and sometimes it's not always just about buying and selling kind of things. I love to give things away. So let me draw that name. So look in here. Let's see, I'm gonna grab a name. Here's one. Oh, okay, Kathy White. So Kathy, if you are on right now live, let me know with a heart in the comment. Otherwise, I will give you a message about getting your address so that you can get that free t-shirt. So I will, like I said, I will do more on the way, and so don't worry about that. We'll make sure that we can get quite a few giveaways going on. So while this is drying a little bit, I'm gonna do my bow, and let me move the camera down. Hopefully it won't fall too much. There we go. I'm gonna put this a little bit aside so you can see what I'm doing. And today I picked sunflowers, and this is the ribbon that I'm going to be using. And there's a couple ways that you can do ribbons on your pumpkins. Sometimes the big fluffy ones are just a little bit overwhelming. And so for this one, I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna have some big flowers. So doing a big rounded bow just may not look as pleasing to the eye. So I have a different way that I like to do bows, and I'm gonna show you that really quick. Put a thumbs up in the comments if you can see this. I just wanna make sure that we're all in the same spot, and you'll be able to, I just don't want you to miss out. So I'm gonna take it, I usually do it about a hand length, and then I'm just gonna fold it in half right there. And then I'm gonna cut it. And then where that crease is that I had in the middle, I'm gonna fold in one side and fold in the other side. Take my handy dandy glue gun, and I'm just gonna put a bead down there, and I'm actually gonna match it up as quick as I can. So there's my first layer. And then the next one I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a hand and a little bit. So I know that it's bigger. I'm gonna fold it in half. Give it a little bit of a cut there, and then, like I said, go back in to the middle. And I just want to show you, see how that is? There's a little bit of a gap there. That means that when I put this on, it's gonna fluff out much better than if they were the same size. Okay, put my bead on there. There we go. So there's our two loops. And then this one here is gonna be the tail, and I'm just gonna go double of the, a little bit shorter than double of the biggest one. There we go. And there's two ways that you can do. A lot of people do just one triangle and it just goes down to the side. Lately, I think the fun trend is just to fold it in half, and then you're going to cut a triangle out of the end, and then there it is. That's your end. Okay, so I'm going to lay this down first. Lay the larger one down. Make sure that it's about even. Put this one on top, and then I can scrunch. Just like that. So there's many ways that you can do this. You can tie it off with another part of the ribbon. You can wire it and then puff it out a little bit. But today I'm actually going to we're going to do a little bit of a coordinating ribbon. This is just a brown piece of ribbon. This ribbon is a gross grain ribbon, and I actually got this. This is an embellishment from Close to My Heart, which is the rubber stamping and scrapbooking company. I was a consultant there for 22 years and super loved being able to do scrapbooking classes and card classes. So maybe, you know, one of my videos I'll show you my passion as far as stamping and scrapbooking goes. So I'm just going to fold it over the top. And the cool thing about this, if I wanted to, I could leave that ribbon long and I could glue it into an arrangement. I can take wire, you know, like I said before, if I had wire and cover it up with this ribbon. I always like to use a lot of extra ribbon, just trim it off if you need to. And I always save my scraps. There's going to be, I know, a project down the road that I will be using those. So what you want to do for this one is make sure before you pick it up, it's not one of those where you can move the glue around a little bit. It does need to be pretty taut there to be able to finish your project. Okay. All right. So now it's the fluffing time. And I'm going to bring this down here. See how I did it a little bit different? It's kind of nice to have one longer than the other. I think that's gives you a good just kind of homemade look. I think sometimes if it's too uniform, it kind of looks like maybe it's from a big box store. And I want my projects I want my people to know who get them that they're made from a good whole crafting. Okay, so that's going to be our bow, and see how that's going to look on there. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, all right. So now it's not completely dry, but it's dry enough that I can put some the ribbon on. I'm actually going to keep going with the pumpkin, and I'm going to put the coordinating ribbon on each of the seams of the pumpkin here. So I'm going to start with my glue gun, get a little bit. I always start at the top and then just tap down. There we go. Well, you know what? I think we're going to wait for a little bit. It looks like it's too wet. So I will show you what I will do when this is all dry, because I just want to make sure that I don't end up messing up the glitter. So I'm going to do this on each one of them after it's all dried. And just like I say, for time's sake, I will just take this off and we will just start with the flowers instead. So let me hit it with a little bit of a glue or thing here. Oh, look, see how it's starting to sparkle? Oh, I'm loving it. So as this starts to dry, I know it looks a little bit opaque right now, it will turn clear and it'll be super sparkly. And oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited about this. You know how you have something in your mind and you pick it up at the store and you're like, yep, that's what it is. So it looks like the realistic flowers won out. So I'm gonna start with, I'm gonna actually use those, but I'm gonna start with my base. And I like, when I do a floral arrangement, I start from the foundation up, because a lot of times when you put your big flowers on there and then you start putting all the little embellishments and you've glued all your stuff together, it's just kind of hard to be able to stuff things in once those big pieces are glued on. So I always start with the foundation. And today I've got these little leaves and they're leopard print, super, super cool. I'm very excited that we can put these on here. So like I said, I'm gonna put a few around the edge here as my foundation. There we go. Ta-da. And then I'm just kind of work around and see which and how many. I think I'm gonna put 3 on there for right now. When you're decorating, using lots that are odd, like lots of 3, is pleasing to the eye. I think I've told you guys that before, but there we go. That's gonna be my foundation. And I wanna make sure that everything is on there quite firmly so that I have large flowers that I'm going to be putting on here. So I want to make sure that those flowers adhere to my foundation. And inevitably I burn myself, so I use skewer sticks quite often. There we go. Okay. So I'm not going to make sure that you can see the stem, because the stem's kind of, it's fair to middle and it's not that big for this project. So I'm just gonna go ahead right away and put the flower on top of it. Okay. So I wanna make sure that I tilt it up so you can see it. I don't want it too flat on there. And we'll give it a little bit of glue on the bottom here. All right, and I did trim these off. I got them at Michael's last year, so I did actually see some that were quite similar. So if you want to do this exact project, go to Michael's and get the flowers and have at it. All right, so I've kind of got one that's down and one that's up. I like different heights in my floral arrangements just to make sure that it becomes interesting instead of just all one level. So this is one of the other flowers. I'm just gonna add a few of these just because. There we go. I'm gonna put one in the middle, and this is how they come. I chopped it off of a big bunch, and sometimes I use the leaves, sometimes I don't. I actually have a big box of leaves that every once in a while, when I end up not having enough of one, I have my box in waiting of extra greenery, so it works pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna put quite a large glob there. We're gonna be doing some embellishments, so when I add the embellishments to the arrangement, there we go, I will start gluing onto that piece, so we should be okay. Yep, there it is. Throw some more glue on it, make sure. And that's one of the things where you wish you could be super, super quick, but a glue gun doesn't wait, or it waits for only itself, I guess you'd say. You have to be patient to make sure that your glue is able to set up. All right. Okay, so this is my base here. I've got a couple sides. This is my accent flowers. Now I'm ready to embellish. I got some flowers here. These ones I found at the dollar store. They're not super high quality, but sometimes they're just really good to be able to put them in for fillers. So, and they're kind of cool. They've got a little pine cone in the middle. There we go. We're going to just stick that in there. So see how it's starting to take shape? And the sky's the limit on what and how much you want to put in here. Just be careful that sometimes when you put too many, it gets top heavy. And a lot of these pumpkins, they're not, here, hold on. Let me get my kitties laying right on my camera. Just be careful when you end up putting a lot on there. Some of these pumpkins are made out of foam, and so they will tip over if you don't make sure that they are weighted in a correct way. I've also seen where you can put a piece like a washer or something like that, so that you can make sure that your project doesn't fall apart. I can see this really pretty on a mantle, at your front door if you have a little table that you can put at your front door. So see how we're just kind of putting things and adding. There we go. Okay, so there's my filler, and now get this here. All right, my filler just ended up on the ground. My kitty decided to take it away. All right, so now here we're going to go for some height. And I'm just going to open this up because we've kind of left room, remember, because when you leave a little bit of space, it's so much nicer when you start putting all these embellishments together. Hey Gina, good to see ya. All right. Go. And like you said, it's at your discretion of how fluffy or how simple you would like your arrangements to be. I kind of like mine a little bit full. But like you said, I said before, the sky is the limit. See how that goes? And then these are super cool. These are kind of like a, I don't know, prickly, fluffy little, they almost look like cheese balls. I don't know. But they are a super cute little addition to adding into each of the little crevices here where you want to be able to fill up some room here. Here we go. And I think I got these ones at Michael's, I believe. And They were like 70% off. Now their fall flowers are really on sale. And for me, that's the perfect time to go and buy. But in my town, unfortunately, things go quick here. So for me to wait for the sales to go on, I won't get anything. So I've had to learn, and I learned the hard way to be able to get products and things like that I needed to make sure that before my little town goes out of them, I go and get them before it's too far into the season. Okay. All right. This is looking so fun. Okay. So now the final thing here is I'm going to put it with my bow, and I could just put it right there in the front. I think it would be really pretty at the corner, be able just to kind of have a little bit of a non-traditional layering in it. It looks like I do need another leaf here on the side if I'm going to do that. Give it another dimension. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Oh, that is beautiful. So right here would have been the, I would think, oh yeah, this would be the front of it, but I'm actually going to turn it around and make this part the front. Sometimes we make everything all go up front and everything's all beautiful and we forget the back. And sometimes I think the back is most important. If you're not putting it on a wall and you have it on your centerpiece for your table or whatnot, it's good to make sure that you start moving it from all different angles. So I'm actually going to take that bow and I'm going to put it right there, I think. All right, this is going to require a little bit of glue. And if I wanted to, also I could take some wire and poke some wire in it. There we go. I'm going to hold it there for a little bit just to make sure that the glue doesn't fall and make it come off. And then what I'll do is I always like to make sure that everything's all fluffed. There we go. I'm going to fluff up my bow a little bit. All right. And one of the last things that I like to do is I like to hit it with a hairdryer, because all of these little strings and things like that, they just disappear when you light it up with some heat. Now for the final touch. I have 3 different sayings that I put right here. Okay, well I can actually do it this way. This is welcome. I got them at the dollar store and they were made of metal. And so I just took the chalk paint that I painted the pumpkin and I painted the front of it. So I have thankful and I have welcome, thankful, and harvest. So we're going to, I believe the thankful won out, and so I'm going to put that on there. What I'm going to do is give it a little bit of rub and buff, and this is black rub and buff, and I'm just going to put a little bit on my finger here. I'm going to give it a little bit of a kind of like an old look, but actually it almost looks like the leopard print, little spots on there. So I kind of want to make it look a little bit of like, almost like leopard print-ish. And I'd love to see if I can do this backwards, huh? There we go. Let's put some up here. Okay, and so now I get to decide where I'm going to set and glue this in. Oh, I think it's beautiful just right here in the front. So I think it's a popular enough saying that to have it sticking out of the middle of nowhere, I think people will know that it says thankful on it. So I'm just going to actually just glue it right to the top here. Let it set for a minute. There we go. All right, so it's a little bit off. Let's turn it that way. Perfect. And there you have it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please come back and follow me on Instagram, Pinterest. I have a YouTube channel, and we'll see you back next time. Thanks for watching.